The next time you need a haircut, think of the barbershop with a grand tradition. Williams Barbershop. Williams Barbershop, proud to serve the entire community of Eufaula. Come by to our new location, new facilities, and see what it's like to be treated in style at Williams Barbershop in the old J.C. catalog store. There is another choice for making funeral arrangements. Central Funeral Services, located in Eufaula and Louisville, Alabama. With one-of-a-kind staff, thrives on professionalism and meeting the unique needs of families with a wide variety of services. Owned and operated by the Mixon family. Call 687-1060 or 266-5261. Melissa Mixon Smith, licensed funeral director.
Good evening. You're welcome to Gumbo Live. This is LC Green with Gumbo Live, and I have with me as my guest today Mr. John Savage. Mr. John Savage is a candidate for state senate. What district is that? District 28. District 28. And we want to thank him for taking time out of his busy schedule. Mr. Savage is a famous man here in the city of Eufaula. He was the teacher of the year last year.
That's correct.
Well, what did you teach, Mr. Savage?
I taught high school, and I taught chemistry and physics.
Woo! Smart man. Chemistry and physics. Yeah. So I think they wasn't standing in line to take that class as an elective.
There were a good number of people like that.
Very good. Mr. Savage, first of all, again, I want to say thank you, and I want to thank all my viewers out there who watch Gumbo Live. I thank you. And I thank you for your encouraging words to have us back on air. So, Mr. Savage, for those who may not know you, there may be some people like me who heard of you, and I want to tell you this, I really enjoy meeting you. I really enjoy talking to you before we come on air. I really enjoyed that. And I got to say this, Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage is not here because we are endorsing him. We're not endorsing anyone. But Mr. Savage is here because when I called and asked him to come on this program, he agreed to come on. To be fair to Senator Beasley, Senator Beasley set his ground when he wanted to come. Senator Beasley said he wanted to come after the Labor Day holidays, and he wanted to come by himself. So that's on the record. All right. So I thank you for working with my schedule, number one. All right. Tell the viewing audience, Mr. Savage, just who you are. Tell us about you and your family. Are you originally from Eufaula?
Not originally, but I've actually lived in Eufaula for over 21 years. First of all, I just want to thank you for having me on here. It's a great service you do to the community, and I appreciate the time that you've given me to share some of my thoughts, my background, and let the people get to know me.
Right.
As I said, I've lived in Eufaula for over 21 years.
Okay.
I lived in Alabama. Well, I first moved to Alabama when I was 10.
From where?
From Tacoma, Washington,
originally. Okay.
My dad was in the military.
All right, good.
And so he was transferred to Selma, Alabama, way back when there was an Air Force base.
Okay.
And we settled around this part of the world, and I've lived all over the state. I've lived in Selma, and Wilcox County, and Birmingham, and settled here, and this is where my home is. Okay. People ask me where my hometown is, and this is it.
This is it. Eufaula, Alabama. Is that family?
Yes, I'm married to Ann, and I have 2 grown daughters, both of them married, and I have 4 wonderful grandchildren.
Oh yeah.
Everybody says their grandchildren are wonderful, but
that's right.
They really are.
That's true. And your wife is from here?
No, actually, my wife was from New York, but we met in Georgia.
How mercy Jesus.
I know, from all over.
New York and Georgia, okay.
That's right, and you couldn't get her out of the South.
Okay, all right.
New York,
very good.
She was educated in the Bronx in New York. Fordham University.
Sure, sure,
Yeah. And
sure.
so she loves it down here, and I don't think you'd get her away from here.
And she's in the education field also?
No, she actually works for American Buildings Company.
Oh, okay. That's right. Somebody told me that.
Yeah,
Somebody told me that.
she's worked there since we lived
Okay,
here.
maybe get a chance to meet her one day.
Yes.
Now, we got something in common. And this is what I do, Mr. Savage. I'm not trying to be rude, but sometimes when you're talking, I'll just interrupt you.
Quite all right.
And my mind is not as swift as yours. So when something hits, I got to go. But listen. My audience know that I always say that Gumbo would be enjoyable and informative, and so we're getting ready to get informed about a lot of things. We want to talk really about you. I want to inform the viewers about just who you are. I got 3 daughters, and I got 2 grandchildren. One is a 8-month-old baby girl.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So you know about those. You know about their grandchildren, and we also want to thank the Red Basket for allowing us to do this. They told us the other place. We transformed this into our little studio.
Right.
So we thank. But now let's do this here. Now you are retired educator.
Yes.
Okay.
Not really retired, but I've stopped teaching right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Educators will tell you once you get in that blood, you never really retire.
It's it's something that does get in your blood. And one of the hardest decisions I've ever made was to decide not to go back to teaching. I loved it. I did it for 14 years right here in New Paltz High School.
Okay.
And it's the most fun and the most difficult thing I've ever done. But I loved it.
Let's do this then. Let's do this here before our little dime run out. Why are you running for the state senate? Why are you running? I mean, your love is teaching. You just said that. You love it. You love it, and right now you sit there and you miss it. So why run for the senate?
Well, as I told you, I've lived in this area for 21 years, and I've lived all over Alabama, and I love Alabama. I love this area. I love this district. I love the people in this district. It's really what you love about the area. It's the people.
Right.
And when I came here 21 years ago, it was different than it is now. It was thriving. It was growing. It was prospering. There was excitement in the air, and things were happening. And since then, I've seen a slowdown in economic progress. I've seen a loss, tremendous amount of jobs lost. I've seen education falter, and it kind of makes me sad to see things declining, and I don't really see them turning around. And I hear about other jobs opportunities and other things that are happening in other areas of the state, and I want that for this district. And so I just felt like it's time to do something different. Something different has to be done.
You use the word I want to ask you about. You use the word you want to do something different. If we were to close our eyes next Saturday and hear you talk, that's the campaign spiel for everybody. So tell the audience how you different. How you different. Because I'm pretty sure that however many years ago your opponent said the same thing. And he's probably going to say the same thing if he come on there. So what I think what we need to know, we're waiting, we sit on the edge of our seat. Tell us how you're going to be different. What's going to be different?
Well, I bring together a fresh look at things, a new set of eyes to look at things. I've got a lot of industry experience before I taught. I worked in industry. I was an engineer. I was in management. So I have that experience. What I would like to do is to really be an advocate for this area and try to attract businesses and try to develop what we have. Like I said, we've lost quite a few jobs in this area. And other areas are attracting businesses. And part of the way you do that is being an advocate, working with the Commerce Department, working with the governor, and anybody that'll listen to you. And another area you need to look at is job training, even at the high school level. I know that there are programs where the schools work in conjunction with the trade school.
Yeah.
hope he's not the only one. And so, we need to make sure we set up a system where we offer businesses what they need, and that's manpower, and that's trained workforce, and quality of life, quality of living.
Look, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because you said something that got me interested. I've always been an advocate of working with folk, regardless who they were and what part. I think that the time has come that when you got an idea, when you got something that you want to do, that you ought to be able to lay it down. How do you feel about something like that?
Well, as you know, I'm running on the Republican ticket, and I believe in conservative values, but that's not really what defines me. What defines me is my eagerness to serve. I believe that, number one, a senator in any district, number one, represents the people of that district. And it is incumbent on that senator to be very visible throughout the district. And it's a large district. And to hear what is important to the people. And it doesn't matter what party you're in. You still need to be somebody that is an advocate and is a spokesperson for the people.
I think that, and you're saying something that every time I get a chance to talk, I say this. I think one of the problems we have with our elected officials is that they have lost contact with people. They don't hear, and I use the recent vote at the city council here in the city of Utah. They did not hear the people. Most politicians, now I'm just lumping everybody in one category, please forgive me for that, tend not to listen to the folks. Would you assure us that if elected, that you would always have an ear towards us?
Absolutely. My goal is when the Senate is not in session, Congress, legislature is not in session, is to spend a lot of time traveling around. The district goes from Tuskegee to Dothan, so there's a lot of ground to cover. But I've already started making contacts and visiting people, and there's some really wonderful people out there. And I really want to get out and hear what they have to say. I am very open to speaking to any group, any organization whatsoever, and hearing what they have to say.
Now does your district also cover part of Russell County, like the representative district?
Yeah, I don't know exactly if the lines are exactly the same. Probably not, but the District 28 covers most of Russell County.
Most of Russell County?
Yeah, there's the northern part of it that's not in.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I passed in Russell County.
That's right, I knew that.
Yeah, I live in Rockford County, and I like you. I love you, Paul. I love you, Paul. It's not my original home, but I love you, Paul, and it's home now.
It is.
So I want to do the very best for you, Paul. I passed in Russell County. My members live in Russell County, so I'm just saying that to you.
What part of Russell County?
I passed in Seal. And I got folks all up through there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in District 28.
All right. So that's a very large district.
It is.
And so it's very time consuming.
It is. It's large geographically.
And most of the time when the candidates get elected, like again, I guess I'm beating the dead horse to death. You don't see them no more until next election time. But now you're making a pledge to the voters now.
I am. At this point, it's considered to be a part-time job to be a state senator or a state representative. But I don't have another profession. I don't own a business. I don't have anything else that's going to tear me away. And I really want to spend a lot of time out in the district, meeting people. I mean, that's been one of the fun parts of campaigning is meeting people. Be surprised at how open and friendly people are to talk to you. That's a lot of fun, and I want to continue that during the time when we're out in session.
Let me ask you this. What would, once you are elected and if you get elected and get sworn in office, what would be the first major thing that you would tackle? Is that a fair question?
Sure, that's a fair question. First thing I would do is I would let everybody know that things are going to be different now. That I am going to be someone that will be the voice of the people of this district. Now, what will be up in session, I don't know. You know, we'll have to deal with those as they come.
Right.
But I will immediately try to get an audience with the governor and the Commerce Department and make some contacts and see if there's some directions we can go to help in this area. And also, as you know, I'm a 14-year educator, and education is very, very important to me. I would love to see education go in a different direction than it's going now.
Let me ask you a question. Now, when you say education, you talking about locally or as a whole?
As a whole.
Okay.
Locally and as a whole.
Okay.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of debate nowadays on Common Core. You know, that's a big national issue.
Right.
And those type of issues. And you know, when we went to high school, things were different. I went to a school much smaller than McFall High. I graduated from high school, but only had 72 in rural Alabama. Got a great education, and you know, I kind of want us to go back to that. It was very simple. You know, we in education are trained everything. We keep changing directions, and we never really stick with something long enough to see if it really works.
And let me tell you this, speaking of education, Superintendent Tyler is scheduled for doing my program next week. He's scheduled to do my program next week. And to discuss the education situation here, you know, he's the superintendent for the city school.
Right. That's great.
Just giving it a grade from 1 to 10, 10 being high. Let's rate the local school system and then the school system across the state as a whole. What kind of mark would you give it? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair, but that's tough. You know, as anybody, if I were running the show, I would do things different, but that would be the case for anybody in that position.
Sure.
I came into a system that I think was stronger than I left. There's a lot of state mandates and federal mandates that come down into education and really strangle what you do in the
Okay, all right, so let's do this here. Let me get talk it out.
Okay.
How much, I'm gonna use the word influence, for lack of a better word, help me with it. I'm trying to get you to tell me how much influence would you have as a state senator on the operation of the education system?
Locally, not really, not much. Now, and even at the Senate level, there's you have a state board of education. There are some influences and things that you might be able to do, and some efforts in that regard. And there is some legislative oversight also. But just being a voice, just being a voice of someone that's seen it and seen education not what it used to be, and raising those issues, and maybe the opportunity to speak with the Board of Education and the state superintendent and those folks.
See what you're telling us on the district, you may not get no change, but you're going to be speaking for them.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's all we can ask for. If you're not able to change it, at least speak about the changes for the better.
Well, yes, get people's ears and let people know what's really going on. You know, I don't know. The governor's coming later this week.
Yes,
and that'll be his first trip to the fall. People, I feel like we're the part of the state that's kind of forgotten sometimes. But this is a great part of the state, and so I'm glad he's coming. We need people to hear about us and understand this area and people in this district.
Speaking of that, that's a good point you're making. That's a very good point. How many elected officials that's operating in Montgomery now? Maybe about a percentage that you really know, that you could walk up to and know.
I don't know. I am new to this game. I am not a politician. I never campaigned. I never even dreamed I would campaign. And so I've got a lot of people to meet, and I will, and I'm not shy. And I will make a lot of connections.
Let me say something to you, Mr. Savage, that that I tell our married all the time. I tell our married all the time. We try to say this with all respect. A politician, you know, a person says, well, I'm not a politician. That sounds good. But in order to deal with politicians, you're going to have to be a politician.
To some degree, that's true.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I tell our mayor. Mayor brags about me, he's not a politician. That's why you get involved now. So what I'm saying to you is that maybe you're trying to tell us I'm not a politician, but I know the art.
Right. I'm learning. Yes, I'm learning that. Baptism by fire.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And what I really meant by saying I'm not a politician is I've not played this game
Yeah, before. I got you.
And so, you know, I have no great political ambition. I really just want to serve.
You're not using this as a step us on to the government show.
No. I just really want to serve.
Yeah.
The reason I taught is because, for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is I enjoy serving the people of Barber County.
And you're smart enough. I'm basing this on my conversation with him. I'm basing this on my conversation with him. I think you're smart enough to whatever situation I get
in. My history is, I'll dig into it. I want to hear all sides of an issue. But, you know, I actually think that disagreement in professionalism is good. I want to hear opposing viewpoints because maybe mine's wrong. And I want to hear what other people think and put all the information together and make the best decision possible.
And I think that that's what, and we was talking about the United States in general earlier, me and some other preachers. And I think that that's all America is asking for. It's asking for leaders that will make up their own mind based on whatever facts that's presented to them,
right,
without being influenced by somebody. I'm not going to vote this way because somebody else voted this way.
That's right.
And may I also say this, sir? I'm not voting this way because that's what my party told me to vote.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening in this country. We've lost the art of disagreeing without getting mad. You know, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, and they're different. What's wrong with that? Let's talk about that, and you know, maybe we'll learn it from each other.
Don't we need that inside?
We do. Absolutely.
I know. Now I'm gonna get personal. I don't like to get personal, but I know there are some elected officials right in this city. They won't even speak. They will sit as close as I'm sitting to you. They won't speak to me simply because I took a different side than they did. They presented something that I didn't agree with, and I spoke out against it. What happened to America where we got choice, where you can see one thing one way and I can see something another way?
I believe that's actually a good system to have opposing viewpoints. And then, you know, maybe if we can discuss issues logically and without getting upset, we can come to common ground solutions. And I think that's a lost art that we need to rebuild.
Now tell me about this. Tell me about, now I'm getting a little personal with you. I can be your wife. How do you feel about you for this season?
It's funny, several years ago, she said, you know, I think one day you ought to run for office. And I said, no, that's not me. And so she is very supportive of it. She's in favor of it. She knows that we're biting off quite a bit here, but she is in favor. She's a very special woman, very supportive of anything I do.
Now, you don't mind letting me know the church, because I know your pastor. You got a very fine pastor. And you are a church going man.
I am.
I want you to look at that camera and let those who are viewing this program know that you are a church going man.
I am. I'm actually elder and the treasurer of Northside Community Church, one of the founding members, and Pastor Rob Varela has been my pastor for quite a few years.
One of the founding members?
Yes.
That's very good. Now, Mr. Savage, before I let you say what you want to say, there's always, now we know, those of us who know, we know that there is a financial burden when you want to call.
Absolutely.
And I'm always concerned about where your finances coming from. Because I learned a long time ago, whoever controls the purse controls the person.
That seems to be the case many times.
Okay, would you want to talk about the financing of your campaign?
Well, right now there's not a whole lot of that going on.
Okay.
So we don't. I don't really have any major contributors at this point. We're working on that. So far, most of it's just been some local friends and local support.
Now let me say something. I want to say big things to my audience. And those of you who watch this program, you know there was no prearranged deal with me and Mr. Savage. There was no prearranged deal. Am I right?
You're right.
No prearranged questions.
Nope.
The only thing I told him, if there's a question he didn't want to answer, he didn't have to answer. Man, that's just being wrong. All right? No money has exchanged hands.
No.
And no money will exchange hands. All right? So my audience, they know that. But I always got to say that for clarity.
Right.
All right? So nobody won't think nobody said nobody. But this is what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to tell our viewing audience how they can make a contribution to your campaign. And I think that there are some folks who just meeting you for the first time. Mm-hmm. And they may be like me. They may like what they heard. And look at that camera right there, Mr. Savage, and take your time and tell them how somebody wants to support you. And not just talk about support. You got a lot of folks who talk about support.
That's right.
But they ain't gonna put up their sign.
That's right.
All right?
You're right.
So look at that camera, Mr. Savage, and please tell them how they and y'all listen very carefully.
Get something to write.
There you go. He's going to tell you, and you know how I'm going to get him to repeat it again. He's going to tell you how to make your donation, your financial donations to him. Whether you need anything, you need some labor, or you just need financial donations.
Volunteers, as we get closer, we'll need volunteers. We're planning on going knocking on doors.
Tell them what you
Planning on having people knocking on doors and getting the word out, handing out flyers, making some phone calls, that type of thing, the usual campaign stuff. If you would like to make financial contributions, they are always greatly appreciated. It's not cheap running a campaign.
That's right.
And you may do that by sending a check to Committee to Elect John Savage, and that is at Post Office Box 1678, Eufaula 36072. Or you can drop it by the Republican headquarters here in Eufaula on Highway 431. Or you can call me, I'm in the book, and I'll come by and pick it up.
What about if there's a Democrat that don't want to be seen at the Republican headquarters? Give them that P.O. box.
You know, you'd be surprised. I'd actually run into that.
Give them that P.O. box again at the side.
That's Post Office Box 1678, 1678, Eufaula.
Okay, now what about this? What about this? And this is a big pet peeve of mine. What about somebody want to call you and talk to you?
I'll talk to them.
You give them a number. Give them a number where somebody want to call and talk to you.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the number that's in the book because anybody can access it.
Okay, give us number again.
It's 687-7542.
One more time.
687-7542.
Now, Mr. Savage, I'm going to say this to you. This program is going to be on YouTube, right? So that there's going to be people all over the world that can watch this.
Yes.
All right.
Phone calls from District 28 residents, please.
They got. Well, no. Now listen. What I'm going to tell you. This is what I'm telling you. What I know. I'm going to tell you something I know.
Okay.
There are folks who don't even live in Alabama who want to support good candidates.
Oh.
That's all they want. They want to support good candidates.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
I hear
So that there's a move across the United States of America to put good, and dare I say, Christian candidates in office, regardless of what party.
Yeah.
There's a move. I'm telling you, Mr. Savage, there's a move across the United States of America. We are tired of the hatred. There's too much hatred coming out of Washington. There's too much hate coming out of Montgomery. Any state you go to, any state capital, there's too much hatred coming out.
Right.
And we know the only way we can change that around is put some God-fearing people in office.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying?
The number one message of Christians is
Look, there's going to be, and I'm saying all this to tell you, Mr. Savage, there's going to be some people in Louisiana, my great home state.
Oh, is it?
Greatest state in the union.
Better than Alabama?
Oh!
Now I'm going to put you on the spot.
But listen, let's get serious. Some of you are listening in other states. You're not in Alabama, but you want to put a good candidate in office. And again, I'm not saying that to endorse. No, don't run off talking about I'm endorsing Mr. Savage, but I'm telling you from what I'm just talking about. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. So what you need to do, Mr. Savage, is look in that camera one more time, give them the address one more time with the zip code, and give them a phone number with the area code that they can call you.
Okay.
And wherever you're from, you can send a donation. Nothing too small and definitely nothing too large. Am I right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And see, what we got to do, we got to support good candidates, regardless of who they are. We got to support good candidates. And we can't just support them with our mouth. We got to, go ahead, Mr. Savage, you take it from here.
Well, and my opponent is way ahead of the game, way ahead of me as far as financial support goes. But I would appreciate any help. Anybody that feels like this is something worthy to contribute to, you may send donations to or contributions to Post Office Box 1678, Eufaula. That's EUFAULA, Alabama 36072. You may call me 334-687-7542.
And just so it won't be no misunderstanding, Mr. Savage, if your opponent decides to come on, I'm going to give him a chance to make the same appeal.
Absolutely.
Just I'm saying that for the record, but y'all running out there saying LC Green doing so and so. You know, this is my program. So if I decide I wanted to endorse you, that's my program. I can do that.
That's right.
You follow? All right. Now, let's do this. Let's do this here. Let's do this here. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say anything you want to say. I'm gonna give you this opportunity to say anything you want to say. I want to give some thank yous before we do that. I want to thank you. I want to thank your family. I want to thank actually personally. I want to thank you. From the day I first talked to you, you've been nothing but kind to me. You didn't have to be. You didn't know me from Adam. You didn't have to be kind to me, but you've been kind to me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate kindness. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on my show. You make my show. You make it. Like this, I always make my show. You have made this a very, very good show today. Again, I want to thank the bread basket. I want to thank them. I really want to thank them because they let me come here and they're on overtime now. They stay and let me take my time and talk to you or whoever else my guest might be. So I want to thank you for that. The program is going to be on Tuesday night at 7. I tell y'all 7. Sometimes the program that comes on before us runs a little over. So anywhere between 7 and 7:15 on Tuesday nights, you'll see Gumbo Live. You'll see Gumbo Live this Tuesday. And normally it's on YouTube before. But I know it won't be long right after that Tuesday. If it ain't on before that Tuesday, that it will be on YouTube. And you can pull it up on YouTube. But if you follow TV1, you follow TV1. That's how you pull it up. You follow TV1, and you'll see us on there. So I want you to do that. And, so now, Mr. Savage, whatever you want to say, I'm gonna give you this. I will time is about over with now. Okay. I thank my viewers. I thank y'all, and I thank y'all multiple times for the encouraging words. I took me a little hiatus. I come off the air for a while, but some of the kind things that people were saying and the encouragement that I'm back on. So I want to thank my audience for that. But Mr. Savage, now you talk to them, and again, I thank you.
Okay, well, I just want to say again, thank you for this opportunity. You've made this easy to do.
God bless you.
And I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I just want to tell you that I have a history of being a hard worker. I have a history of digging into whatever I get into. I take it very seriously. I am a person of very high principles. I believe that I will do a very good job for you in Montgomery. I believe that I will always keep in the forefront the fact that I represent the people of this district and not myself. I would appreciate your vote, appreciate your help in any way, your support, getting the word out. Just tell people that you saw us on Elsie Green's TV show.
Gumbo Live.
Gumbo Live, that's it. I understand where Gumbo came from now.
Okay, all
Louisiana. And get the word out, and I would appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for watching Gumbo Live. This is Mr. John Savage, the Senator candidate for District 28. Thank you very much. You're watching Gumbo Live with L.C. Green. I'm John Savage.
The next time you need a haircut, think of the barbershop with a grand tradition. Williams Barbershop. Williams Barbershop, proud to serve the entire community of Eufaula. Come by to our new location, new facilities, and see what it's like to be treated in style at Williams Barbershop in the old JCPenney catalog store. There is another choice for making funeral arrangements. Central Funeral Services, located in Eufaula and Louisville, Alabama, with one-of-a-kind staff, thrives on professionalism and meeting the unique needs of families with a wide variety of services. Owned and operated by the Mixon family. Call 687-1060 or 266-5261. Melissa Mixon Smith, licensed funeral director.